Thank you, Chef. Welcome, everybody. It's our Thursday night virtual tasting. We're here at Old North State Wine. We're down in the barrel room filming on Wednesday so we can taste together virtually on Thursday. And boy, this has been so popular. If you can't make it here on Thursday nights at 6 p.m., then you can do it virtually right here on YouTube and enjoy delicious wines in the comfort of your home or on your boat or on a plane or on a train or with a
bicycle?
Yeah, whatever you're into. It'd be a little tricky though, wouldn't it?
No trickier than a goat.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we've had some amazing wines throughout this, well, I guess we started doing our videos in COVID time.
Yep, it was right at the beginning of the pandemic.
And we've been able to secure great valued wines that really over-deliver.
Mm-hmm. I would say you have yet to under-deliver.
And so we keep trying to explore all the varietals of the world. You know, we've been hitting on Shenans and just
I love it.
We've been having a lot of fun with whites. And with this little burst of cool air, Chef, I thought it'd be fun just to do 2 reds today.
Well, I think you're excuse me, again, spot on. I mean, this is just what the time of year calls for. Some soul-warming reds. Not that whites don't warm your soul. I know she got some raised lettering there on that bottle. That is quite fancy, and this is a real showstopper at home. When you pull out a bottle of this, it's got the DOC, it's got the raised lettering. It's a very, very beautiful presentation on this. And always a great way to get excited about your wine and your dinner.
All right, so we're starting off in northern Italy, in the Langhe region. This is a Barbera d'Asti from Veitti. Chris and I happen to be huge fans of their Barolo. They also make Barbaresco rather, and that.
Thank you.
They make a lot of different varietals. This happens to be the varietal Barbera, and you're going to get a different expression than you would get from Nebbiolo or Sangiovese for sure, but it's a very important grape. I mean, I think oftentimes we just kind of get locked in on those 2 grapes for northern Italy, but there's some great varietals that need to be, they need to be on our radar, and they need to be in our wine cellars, or certainly within reach, so that you can grab this delicious wine. Now, Veitti, of course, is a world-class producer, and really family-run. Even though it has been sold to another company, it is still run by the family, so that's important. And did you see that a lot? I mean, like, well, heck, when your ex-wife, they sold their business, she stayed on to run it, and you keep that family business
and the talent
and the talent and the knowledge, the experience.
I mean, wine that only a fool would pull hundreds of years of experience off a vineyard and replace it with newbies. Now, that's not to say you can't use the existing family to help train a new generation, but you would do that anyway.
Exactly.
And there's no guarantee of the mothership or your grandkids would treat it any better. So it makes sense. And a lot of times too, I mean, you really these sort of mergers or acquisitions or enhancements, and you've got somebody who can do more marketing, who can do more labels, and you can just focus on the thing you love most, which is making wine and running the vineyard, and not all the peripheral stuff that's so distracting.
Oh yeah, and Chef, as you know, there's so many distractions just in your day-to-day life as being the chef and general manager here at the restaurant. So let's talk about this varietal, because it is a varietal that it really I would say it's just a great value grape. You rarely see this at a high price point. I mean, there have been a few attempts at getting $50, $60 out of it, but it's usually going to fall in that $20 to $30 range max. And really vibrant fruit flavors here.
Huge red fruit, a little blackberry.
Yeah.
Boy, she's drinking nice.
Mm-hmm. And
great tannin on this,
right?
For a fruit forward wine. The tannin really is
That's what
significant.
That's what I really dig about this. So you can get these bright fruit flavors that are certainly red but layered with dark fruits, but they're very high toned, even the dark fruits. And you still get all of that, plus you get that kind of finishing dryness that really has you coming back for more. I would imagine this food wise would be
Ideal.
I mean, there's very little you couldn't do with it.
And usually you don't have a table wine at this price point, but I think in this case we would use table wine, meaning whatever you put on the table it goes with, not so much the price point,
Sure.
but I mean this
And
is
whoever's sitting at the table.
no matter what. Then that's what I mean. A table wine like this is not indicative of the price, but doesn't matter. You could take it with whatever you're having, it goes with it. Anybody around the table, like you said, it would just
I
it'd
love
be delicious.
Oh, Chef, I love that sneaky little pop of acidity at the end, and it just gets your mouth watering. And of course, we all know that when your mouth is watering, that means you're ready for food.
You need food. You need some more quenchability.
Yeah. So since I saw that cute little plate over there,
It's adorable, isn't it?
yes, I see you've been working
Cute
hard.
as a button.
What have you doled up there, Chefy?
Well, you're going to go from the bottom up here.
Okay.
So you're going to start with a pecan smoked trout. And that's going to have a little poached pear and praline
Wow.
and nasturtium with a touch of balsamic reduction, because what grows together goes together, right? So,
Yes,
so
sir.
so a lot of these things would be something you would find, except for maybe the trout. Although Italy does have trout, but I mean, I don't know
yes.
if you would find it this far north. But who knows? Maybe do. Trout is a big part of their cuisine, though. But and another thing we talked about with this wine is that we obviously love seafood, so we're always looking for foods that can go with red wines, and Ed's always looking for red wines that can go with different foods, especially seafoods. And I think it's spot on.
That's banging. And Chef, that poached pear with the fish, it brings the brightness together with the wine. It's phenomenal.
Just enough spice to really get into this red fruit.
Right.
And the smokiness on the trout helps it stand up to the tannins of this wine. We're still eating light. We're having seafood, we're having nuts, we're having greens and fruit. So, I mean, these are things we want to have, and we don't want to miss out on a wine of this caliber just because we're having nuts and seafood and vegetables and fruit. Good times.
Well, I came back through and combined the nuts with the trout and the pear. And it's interesting, it made the trout flavors hold through the whole palate. I don't know if the nuts somehow helped.
Oils on
Maybe,
the nuts,
perhaps,
maybe
yeah.
help keep it
Yeah.
keep it up.
Absolutely perfect pairing, Chef. I think that's going to be a real surprise to most people how well that goes together. Because I don't think this is something that most people would think about putting together.
No, I know, and that was kind of where I wanted to go with this. When you told me we were having two reds, I wasn't really prepared for two reds. And I'm like, well, let's do something funky and make it work. And because these are things that Ed and I talk about behind the scenes a lot. And this is a great opportunity to bring to life these ideas and these pairings that we're always fiddling with. And every now and then, the match is just right.
Mm-hmm.
It was good timing.
Lucky me.
As well as should be. You put in all the work finding these beautiful wines, you ought to get that reward.
Wow.
So much fun.
Well, this is perfect for this time of year as well. A little chill in the air. It's been in the 40s, low 40s
I
tonight.
felt great this morning, and you had a good cool run last night. didn't you?
Yeah, it cooled off nicely. Perfect, little breeze. Wow, what a treat. So, Veitti, of course, respected, renowned at the very least, for making delicious wines from northern Italy. So, let's move on,
This
Chef.
has been one of my favorites.
Isn't that great? Yeah, we're gonna. Something tells me that we're gonna sell a lot of that.
Well, what's not to love?
And, you know, I just want to mention how nice it was to have everybody in person last week after a 2-week hiatus.
Yeah, that was kind of on us. You know, we had a lot of
Sure, we were busy.
we had a lot of things going on. We really weren't able to gather in person because that was on us. And it's always great to welcome everybody back.
Yeah, and everybody was excited. And people are excited about tomorrow as well.
We had some newbies. We had quite a few newbies last week.
Yeah, we've had some people that have been watching from afar that finally took the plunge, came down into the barrel room here and had the experience, and they were like, why haven't we been doing this before?
We hear that when the first timers are always like, man, shouldn't have waited so long to try this.
Well, I really do, you know, there's no doubt that there are many people that look at wine as intimidating. I did at one point in my life. And I get it. I get there's so much to know that when you're coming into wine, you don't even hardly know which way to turn. And it's a challenge. And I think that intimidation, unfortunately, keeps people from experiencing all the fun that we're having.
Which is ironic because you're doing the exact opposite. You're taking the intimidation out of it. You're introducing fun, introducing knowledge. God, I wish I had you when I was learning about wine. I mean, I did, but not in this.
But I didn't know what I knew now.
But you know, I mean, that's to me is the thrill of Thursdays.
And it was
because you demystify wine and you take the intimidation out of it. It becomes fun, and you're learning on any level ought to be fun, but especially when you've got the giggle juice. I mean,
that's right. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
What could be better than learning when drinking wine?
Yeah, it takes the edge right off. So you can hear we're very busy at the restaurant today. We've had a remarkable stretch of several weeks of busyness.
It won't let up. Every hour, as soon as we unlock the door, it doesn't matter what day it is, what time it is. No one's working. They're just out drinking wine and eating at all hours of the day. It never stops.
Yep, it's a beautiful thing.
I love it. Well, certainly after, we went through many, many years where, the afternoons were, and still most people close in the afternoon. They close from 2 to 5 or 2 to 6, whatever
Right.
it is, and kind of regroup and get ready for dinner. We've never done that. We've always been a straight through place, which has its ups and downs, but now it's all ups.
Right.
Because, 1 to 4 can be our busiest hours.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not unusual at all. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when you get ready for dinner, but it's good for the town, it's good for the restaurant, it's good for the service staff.
Well, it was like Saturday, I looked up, I was like, are we ready for dinner yet? And they're like, Ed, it's 4:30. We've been on dinner service for 30 minutes. That's how busy it is that I can't even get a grip on what time of day it is.
It's been like that, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it's very rewarding, and it pays the bills, so that's a good thing.
Well, and those are very important things.
Those are two of my favorite reasons to work. So,
real quick, they
yeah,
don't
sure.
need to know about this.
They don't. Are you going to buy it all, Sean?
Because we don't have enough to actually
We don't.
use for the tasting. I just got in.
The call has been made.
It's canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have something else?
Well, I guess we could tap into one of these barrels.
We're fermenting some stuff right now.
Yeah, this is Mike.
I'll share.
This is from Mike Janik, and we have been serving his Merlot at the chef's table. Very elegant, Columbia Valley, Washington. Mike is a boutique winemaker, really high end. He's one of my favorite he's not under the radar if you know wine, but he's under the radar to most of the general public. But I think he's just doing phenomenal things. We featured several of his different wines here. This happens to be a red blend. As far as the composition, I've seen different blends that he's had, and I can't really seem to get the exact, but certainly a cab-based Bordeaux style. I was in some of my research. I found that there's some Syrah in it, and some not. I lean towards our Syrah.
There's Syrah.
Because it's very roasty.
There's Syrah.
There's some Petit Verdot and some Cab Franc, certainly some Merlot. But essentially just think of it as a Bordeaux blend, Washington State style. And hopefully I'll be able to get the exact breakdown on that at a later time. But I just have gotten mixed reports, and I don't feel like